and asking people to respond. The words or the idea or the suggestion of compulsory voting is a lie, it's nonsense, it's absurd.
Yeah, it's
Why?
bullshit.
Now bear in mind, there's a clue here, the word compulsion. That's the clue. It's a lie, it's propaganda, and I challenge anyone to dispute that. And I'll give you an example, if you want, as to how to prove it. Well, let's suppose at that last election, I did not receive a ballot paper either going to an electoral office or going to a polling booth. Therefore, I could not vote because the mechanism whereby you have a vote is that ballot paper. Now, as a consequence of not having a ballot paper, I cannot cast a vote. Therefore, I would, if I'm a registered voter, I would be communicated with and I'd be asked why I didn't vote. Now, if I ignored that request, I would get a further request, probably with further consequences if I didn't respond. And eventually, I could appear in a magistrate court. And I would be given an option of paying the penalty with the extra costs, or community service, or I could say no and I could be incarcerated. Now, in this entire process, did I or did I not receive a ballot paper? Now, what is the answer to that question? Did I or did I not receive a ballot paper? Now, I've already given the answer.
No, you didn't.
That is correct. So therefore, I wasn't compelled. Now, what it is not compulsion, because compulsion means without any option. It is intimidation and coercion. Now, I will give you
that's a good thing.
Example.
You're right. That's a more accurate representation
of it. An example of a personal experience of mine where I was not compelled, although the law said I should. Now, in 1991, as a cyclist, there was a law introduced compelling or telling cyclists, instructing cyclists, they should wear a approved bicycle helmet.
Yeah, that was a joke.
I, as a responsible cyclist, decided I wasn't going to wear one. As a consequence, I received a number of infringement notices stopped by police and given notice, and I didn't want to pay them, so I challenged them in magistrates' courts, and I did community service. And eventually I decided to ignore them completely, and I relocated. And as a consequence, these notices, or the infringements, were going to my former address, and they didn't know where I was. So eventually there was a warrant out for my arrest. Now, I had relocated from Sunshine, 1992, to Oakley, and then from Oakley to Carnegie in March 1993. And about a week later I decided to travel to Oakley to buy some groceries. And as a consequence, and naturally I was noted by the police in a divisional van and stopped and asked questions. I said, there's a warrant out for your arrest, you've got to be confined to Glenwavy lockup for 12 days. So they took me to Oakley, processed me. Now, I was supposed to be at Glenwavy for 12 days. On the 6th day, the senior officer in charge came to me and said, Mr. Bowers, you're free to go. I actually said, Bill. Now, you can speculate as to why I was given a release. Now, the cell that I was in was capable of accommodating 3 people. I was only one in it.
But in two, is that 3 people in 2 beds, or
no,
3 people in 3 beds?
It was actually a sealed, secure place for any dangerous people, and the other 2 got the place in too. Now, bear in mind, I was supposed to be there 12 days. I was released on the 6th day. Now, in the entire process, I was never compelled to wear a bicycle helmet. Never. I never wore one. The question here again, was I compelled? No.
It's that intimidation again, isn't it? Coercion and intimidation.
Intimidation and coercion. Now, you can argue and you can say I'm being pedantic, engaging semantics, but the word compulsion means without any options. Now, let's take it to an extreme.
No, I understand your point. You got a question, Cam?
My question is that obviously, now in your status as a convicted criminal,
No, I'm not a convicted criminal.
you
It's
have
not recorded.
to.
It's not recorded. Excuse me, it's not recorded.
You have to engender self-respect by wearing a vest, not too dissimilar from a famous National Geographic journalist.
The idea was me to ask questions and you
how
could
does
answer.
how does that infuse you with your vapid pomposity?
Oh, listen, I don't want to. The idea was me to ask questions. I don't want arrogance.